Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger. Janelle has the night off. People being urged to be on alert after another mountain lion sighting right in the middle of Billings. Now, we showed you this video of a large cat captured on camera strolling through a neighborhood on Mariposa Lane not far from Rocky Mountain College last week. Now another sighting in another part of town. Montana State University Billings Police putting out a public safety advisory after a mountain lion was spotted this morning near Virginia Lane and Silver Lane. Q2's Andrea Lutz talked to a few people who live in that area today and joins us now with more. Andrea?
Yeah, so Russ, the latest one comes just this morning and it has residents on Silver Lane on pretty high alert. In just one case, they're actually changing the way that they get around town. We spent some time on Silver Lane, and that's where residents say they've been hearing reports of that mountain lion being spotted. An employee with MSU Billings saw the big cat. That prompted the school to issue that safety alert. And in one case, a man I spoke with says he's decided to not walk to work, but instead hop into his car just to be safe.
But I haven't seen anything. I just kind of have kept an eye looking out in trees to see if it's around or before I get in the car. But instead of walking around the area, walking to work, I'm driving and just kind of waiting to hear if the mountain lion's gone, but I haven't really been actively searching out the mountain lion.
All right, and so also this afternoon we spoke to a family living on Walden Place, that's just off of Rimrock. They say they believe their 4 chickens were killed by a mountain lion. I did reach out to FWP and they tell me they haven't taken a report on that just yet. So tonight we're going to hear more from residents living on Silver Lane coming up tonight at 10. They say they have a theory for why that mountain lion could be frequenting their area of town. And again, FWP Russ says that children, small pets, and those wanting to spend some time outdoors, well, they should take precaution.
All right. Thank you, Andrea. Well, the EPA and the DEQ want to hear from the public tonight about contamination from dry cleaning chemicals in Billings. The two agencies will also share results of the latest test results. The EPA tested and cleaned up the area near 715 Central Avenue. Investigators determined that Big Sky Linen was the source of PCE and TCE, chemicals that had been used in dry cleaning. The solvent contamination was first reported in the early 1990s. The EPA removed contaminated soil, injected chemicals to break down groundwater contamination, and installed a barrier. The DEQ followed up with an investigation from 2016 to 2018, and they'll be sharing those findings tonight. The EPA and DEQ meeting is at Lewis and Clark Middle School tonight from 7 until 9. Well, fire crews with the help of air support are busy trying to control the Bannock wildfire burning southwest of Dillon. This is the first major wildfire in Montana. It started earlier this week. That fire was started by lightning about a mile south of that famous ghost town. More than 60 firefighters and 2 helicopters have been working throughout the day trying to stop the fire from spreading. Crews say they have a handle on the fire, but they're not ready to say if it's contained just yet. Turning to the weather scene, Bob, we're getting into that time of year when we typically start seeing a lot more of those fires popping up.
And of course, now the good news tonight is we're losing a lot of dry air. We're getting a lot of dry air in here, losing our moisture, so no thunderstorms tonight, and that's the good news. You'll see here on the Doppler radar, look at that, not much coming our way. Generally just dry stuff moving into the region, but in fact, we still have this, a red flag warning for much of the Rockies all the way up to north central Montana, all the way back down towards Bozeman. So that means we have some high gusty winds and low humidity. If a wildfire gets going, it's going to burn out of control in a hurry in those areas. So take a look at this. We was wondering what was the Montana fire danger threat right now around the state. And as you can see, the area is highlighted in yellow and orange. That's where we have high to very high fire danger, like around Shelby to Havre. Also out around Missoula, between Missoula and Kalispell, we have some high to very high fire danger there. Same thing in Billings and also towards the southwest. But in Yellowstone Park, and the area is highlighted in green, that's where our fire danger is low to moderate. So some good news there. We'll have the rest of your week's forecast in a few more minutes. Russ?
All right, thank you, Bob. Well, a man whose body was found in the Yellowstone River near Warden has now been identified. Yellowstone County Deputy Coroner Rich Hoffman says he was 42-year-old Curtis Paul Wallett of Billings. Wallett's body was found Saturday evening by river floaters. His cause of death is pending as the coroner's office waits on results from a toxicology report. However, Hoffman did mention that the death did not appear to be suspicious. The coroner's office did not have an estimate of how long Wallett had been dead before his body was discovered. And crews are still searching for a 50-year-old man who fell into the Boulder River while fishing yesterday afternoon. Crews responded to the 4-mile campground 42 miles south of Big Timber yesterday to find the man's hat and backpack where he fell into the river. Crews say they're dealing with extremely difficult conditions, including steep terrain, log jams, and large boulders. The river is also running abnormally high for this time of year. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Sweetgrass County Sheriff's Office. State action this week to remove 27 children from a private treatment ranch in northwest Montana came just 3 weeks after a new state law took effect on how those centers are regulated. As MTN's Mike Dennison reports, that law played a role in the decisive action taken by state officials against the Ranch for Kids in Rexford.
State and local law enforcement and other officials showed up at the Ranch for Kids on Tuesday morning with a court order to remove the kids and an emergency suspension of the organization's license. The latter action is by the State Department of Public Health and Human Services, which, thanks to a new law, now regulates 14 of these private facilities known as outdoor treatment programs for troubled youths. DPHHS official Erica Johnston also says publicity about the new law played a role in the investigation and action at the ranch.
I would actually credit the public awareness that was created during the legislative session with creating the atmosphere that allowed witnesses to come forward and present corroborating investigative responses that allowed us to act quickly.
The new law took regulation away from a state board, whose members included owners of some of the facilities. A push for the new law came after an investigative series by the Missoulian newspaper outlining complaints against the facilities with rare action by the regulating board. Ranch for Kids director Rick Sutley didn't respond to a request for comment, but has said he plans to contest the suspension of the ranch's license. State and local law enforcement also is conducting a criminal investigation of abuse allegations at the ranch that go back for years. State Justice Department officials helped with the removal of the kids and are continuing to work on what one top official described as a difficult case.
This is the type of a case where we probably don't have physical evidence. This is the part where we have witnesses, we have memories of children and the things that they experienced, and we have a lot of interviews to do.
The state cited allegations of kids being hit and kicked, spit on by the staff, and subjected to psychological abuse and excessive discipline. Local prosecutors will decide any charges, and Lockerbie says that could take some time. As for the children, state officials say they're working with a child psychiatrist and others to ensure their safety and well-being.
Some children who have gone home with their parents already. There are some children who remain in Montana, and we really took a careful approach to ensuring that the care moving forward for these children, if they're still in our custody, is trauma-informed and safe.
Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Well, the State Health Department says it's also preparing new inspection and licensing rules for these facilities now under its oversight. There's more news from across our state on the MTN 9 o'clock news. Here's a look ahead.
I'm Andrea Lutz. We're covering all the big stories across the state of Montana and every major city. And Bob McGuire is working on that statewide forecast. Join us tonight on the MTN 9 o'clock news on the CW.
But first, still to come on tonight's 5:30 news, we're going to show you how one local business is answering the call to help students in need of receiving school supplies. Plus, we look ahead to the yearly Red Ants Pants Festival in White Sulphur Springs. And in sports, some video you haven't seen from last weekend's Shrine game and the meaning of it for a father and son tandem on the sidelines.
You're watching MTN News with Janelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 news on Q2, Montana's news leader.